Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move! James with no regard for human life. Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill. The crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. How you doing today, Mike? It's just you and I today.
Yeah, I'm running the duo today, and I'm doing good, my man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Another very sunny day in Portland, Oregon, which is enjoyable and creepy, but
I guess you don't get those too often, huh?
not this time of the year. I should be wearing Nike Shield shoes. That's a tongue twister. Nike Shield shoes.
Say it 5 times fast, guys.
But I'm now caught up. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I get to wear the collection when it's sunny, so it's a good thing.
Well, see, there you go. See, our weather can't make its mind up. It was, let's see, earlier this week, it was a good 70, 80 degrees. Then it rained. It was dreary for 2 days and gray. Then this morning I woke up, it was 33 degrees. And the day ended at 65. So I just kind of don't know what to even do.
Houston sounds like James Harden's shooting splits.
I mean, it makes sense that he's here.
Some hours or days are good. Some hours or days are bad. But it really does kind of affect your footwear choices. If it's 32 degrees out, you don't want to go out with blind knits. Your feet are going to freeze.
Exactly, man.
So what have you been rocking the past couple of days then? And what's kind of on your radar?
Man, right now, I mean, y'all are going to get sick of hearing me say it, but I've been mostly still wearing my All-Star Game LeBron 7s. I mean, when I told you guys this was a grail of mine, I wasn't joking. And it wasn't a grail I'm going to sit there and just look at, but I'm going to sit there and look at it and wear it all the time. But I actually switched up into later this evening. I switched into my. They don't have a cool name to it, but it was the mint and red SB Dunk Pro Low. Put those on, and on my radar right now, man, I think it's more like just a couple things I'm trying to get my hands on, and I think I probably said the same thing again. But the that BBC Zig Kinetica. It's a pretty cool looking shoe. I've been really looking at it. I actually held a pair of just a different colorway. at a Champs, and actually a really cool and decently made shoe. So I really want to get my hands on it in that colorway. And then, of course, I'm still tossing and tugging and war with myself. I'm spending $200 plus on a pair of Plum Dunks. So that's my issues right now. What about you, Black?
Those are good issues, and I'm really happy you're wearing the LeBron 7s a lot, because you did say they were a grail, and it doesn't matter if it's an off-white grail or if it's like a Jordan 5 Toro, or it could be a LeBron 7 All-Star. Like, if you get what you've always wanted, isn't it kind of stupid to not wear it?
Exactly. I'm going to wear these as much as I can, and probably because I just keep seeing prices drop on the other colorways, there just might be a collection of LeBron 7 sitting in my office eventually.
I've only worn my All-Stars one time, but I very much enjoyed it. They're a good wear. My rocking has been kind of all over the place. I got the John Elliott all-white Air Force Ones.
Ooh.
Those will probably get worn tomorrow if it's sunny still. Jock Slade and Mitch Jacobs, amongst other people, have been singing that shoe's praise for a long time, so I finally just scooped it up. But I wore my LeBron 3s a lot the past couple. I haven't been on the podcast in an episode, so I wore like my Air Max 90s phase has not ended yet. I wear those a lot. To the gym, I just wore a OG pair of Flyknit Lunar 1 trainers, whatever. There's so many adjectives.
That's still a solid shoe.
I remember getting those before the retro. I think I got them for like $55 on eBay from somebody who did not know what they were.
Nice.
So yes, a lot of LeBrons, a lot of Air Max 90s, and then the occasional Flyknits. But radar-wise, I'm just really itching for some Kobe 5s to come out. Like, I don't care.
Man.
And it sucks because the itch is really bad due to the fact that I've been laying off Kobe listings. Normally I'm hunting those things down like on the hourly. I'm looking at some kind of Kobe shoe on a secondary market. Now I know it's all kind of gone to crap. So I'm deprived. So now I'm just like, Nike, do something. Like, drop something, please. I need my Kobe fix. So I'm kind of just waiting on more of those to drop.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Those things, if that one pair I've been talking about drops, that AD wore an All-Star game, I'm gonna try. I mean, as best as I can. I'm just hoping that they're old enough so they can mass produce them. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but I kind of hope it is that way. It's one of those sneakers that anybody who wants them can actually have a fighting chance to get them.
I mean, speaking of Anthony Davis, he's been keeping a hefty fleet of Kobe 4s and Kobe 5s his entire time as a Laker, so the whole season. And I just love seeing somebody there to keep that lineage going, because he could be wearing, like, he used to wear like the Air Max Audacity and like foam pod and hyperposits.
Chunky boys, that's what he used to wear.
Yeah, Air Force Maxes, like the new Air Force Max, like really big, clunky shoes. But in all reality, he's not a big, clunky player. He doesn't need to have a big pair of shoes like that. So seeing him wear Kobe's, and their Kobe's in Laker colors, have really put a smile on my face, because it's very easy to go get a pair of PEs or something crazy out the back of the closet, so to speak, and have like a crazy colored pair of Kobe's. But like you said, he wore a pair of the All-Star game or Laker colors, and just about every single home and away game, he's wearing something Laker-ish.
Yeah, and while we're giving AD his props on those, I got to also shout out Dwight Howard, because he's been pulling out the Kobe's, GRs, hard to find. It's like anything he can get his hands on, looks like, and he's been pretty consistent wearing them for most games. So shout out to him and representing the squad.
That's a really good point, because it looks like he's wearing anything he could get. He's not the richest NBA player. He doesn't have the biggest contract anymore. but still has NBA money. I'm kind of thinking like, why don't you go have somebody like make you a pair of customs or, hit a Nike rep up? There's got to be something laying around. And he's just coming through with like the most general releases, and it's dope.
Yeah. I think he's a free agent sneaker wise, if I'm not mistaken.
He is. He wore Peak for a little bit after his Dwight Adidas line kind of fizzled out. Mm-hmm. And then now he's just kind of rocking whatever. And it's not Laker related, but DeMar DeRozan a week or two ago said he will never play basketball in anything other than a pair of Kobe's ever again. So
respect.
Compton's finest. And that just shows, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watched Kobe's memorial service on Monday. And like the entire basketball world, old and young, male and female, was present. And you got to really see all of the different athletes, whether it was like a really close, intimate relationship with Kobe or just a respect and admiration for him, show up. And a lot of those players, James Harden, I don't think I've ever seen Steph Curry in a pair of Kobe's, but at some point in their careers, I've seen them in a pair of Kobe's, or their games reminiscent of him, and it was really, really good to see just the influence he obviously had, but just that people are sticking with the shoes, have messed with the shoes for a long time, and it's one of many facets to Kobe's life and legacy that will just never go away. Someone's always going to be hooping in a pair of Kobe's until there's no more basketballs on earth.
Yep. I think it probably has to be still the top worn basketball shoe by NBA players. Every team, there's multiple people wearing Kobe's, and not just any specific model. You have people wearing the new ones that are just like super techy. You have people still breaking out, OG like Kobe 3s. I mean, shout out PJ Tucker. So, I mean, it's really cool. Again, that memorial service, not going to lie, it was pretty tough to watch my desk without wanting to just bawl like a baby. And this was at work around people. So, I mean, it's just good. I'm glad that people are getting that, kind of getting that final closure. I'm glad it was a celebration of, their lives, and, got a couple well-needed laughs out of there from Shaq, MJ, Jimmy Kimmel, and Diana Taurasi, some good stories out of them. It wasn't just not necessarily just a sad occasion. Of course, it was sad and somber, but they brought light to a lot of good things, and super happy that we got to have that. And I'm happy that Vanessa Bryant and the Bryant family was able to and wanted to share that a couple hours with us as fans.
It was the closure I really needed, or I'm still not closed with it yet, but I mean, it's really, really helped me. I've been saying I'm going to write something about Kobe. I'm going to do something about Kobe, and I just don't have the heart to do it yet. I haven't worn a pair of Kobe shoes since he passed. I can't put them on. But the laughs and the atmosphere, and Jimmy Kimmel was a great, I want to say moderator or host.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah. Master of ceremonies.
Master of ceremonies. He was great, and everybody was great. Like the Diana Taurasi one really stuck with me. But MJ, man, MJ doesn't speak on shit.
Not a thing.
The world could be burning down, and you won't hear a quote from Michael Jordan. To have him go out there, and I never knew of the little brother, big brother relationship between them. I never knew they were that close. Yeah. Weird aside, like Kareem and Wilt, they were in that same kind of boat for a while. Then they had a huge falling out. I didn't know if they ever had something like that. I didn't know they were that close.
I didn't know either.
MJ there, that was a moment I'll never forget MJ's speech there. And it made me think of all the photos of Kobe early in his career with the Bulls shooting shirt on, or the MJ jersey on, and all the, obviously he loved wearing Jordans. He wore them multiple times on and off the court. But to see that it was bigger than shoes, it was bigger than basketball. And it was bigger than basketball for almost for every person speaking at his ceremony, celebration of life, everybody touched on basketball, but it just really showed is how important Kobe was to a lot of people professionally, personally, indirectly, like you and I and many others.
Yep.
It's just like, man, give us more. It's weird, but give us more shoes because I really need.
Yeah. No, I seriously, I don't mean it like when I wholeheartedly agree with you because I don't mean it in like a selfish, I just want more shoes. I know I just really want to keep, like, Kobe's were probably when I got older, this was like, high school, college, is probably one of the shoes I really started collecting first because they were at a price point that was easier for me to get opposed to Jordan retros. So Kobe's were really the first ones when I started making my own money, like in college, like before graduation. I started buying Kobe's more because they were easier to get. I mean, people, yes, they clamor for certain colorways, but when I worked at Champs and we had the Foot Locker discount because they're all one company. And I would my half off whenever the employee appreciation time would come once a quarter. Dude, I'm walking over to Foot Locker where the basketball shoes are, and I'm copping a Kobe. It was easy. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was like, what color Kobe's you guys got? Cool, give me a 10. I'm out. And it's one of those things. I want to continue to be able to collect them. I want to be able to have some pairs like in good condition where I can pass them down to my kid when he gets to that shoe size where he's like, he can have appreciation because I want to be able to, show him clips of Kobe. Hey, this is like, your dad's favorite player or one of your dad's favorite players growing up and like here to shoot the match and so on, just have the whole story to tell. So I hope Nike is doing what we all hope they are and releasing the shoes and not trying to, just make a spectacle of it by making, this is limited to like X amount of pairs. Just cool. I mean, there are always going to be those pairs. Like if they ever re-release the Grinch 6, I don't expect them to be readily available. But for these colors that are coming out, I said, let the people who are going to buy them. Keep the resale value low. That way, hey, if someone wants to throw them on StockX, I'm still going to get them for maybe $10 over retail.
You're so right, because there was a huge point probably from like 2008 to a month ago where you could find Kobe's for so cheap. And I guess FOMO, fear of missing out, has kicked in because now I'm like, man, there's so many I could have bought for, as low as like $35.
Yep.
And
I'm right there with you. The Carpe Diem 4s, I didn't buy them because they were sitting like, oh, cool, they're going on sale, which they started to. They were harder to find just sitting in stores, but if you found like I knew kind of the stores they were sitting at, like different areas I didn't really buy basketball shoes, and found them for a decent price online, literally getting ready to pull the trigger, and the unthinkable happened and people lost their collective behaviors and minds.
Yeah, it's literally you sleep and you miss out.
I mean, it's like anything. This one just harder because it just we didn't just miss a shoe, but we lost a whole person. We lost people, and that is what caused this shoe to be lost. So I just want to keep them in the collection. Like I've literally, I made sure that my Kobe 4s, my Kobe 8s are nicely put away. I'm still wearing them, but just making sure to take extra special care of them where they don't fall apart. I need to go get a process of fixing my Kobe 6s because the heel clip started to separate from them. I mean, they're 10 years old. So, I mean, it's going to happen, but I don't want them to go just yet.
One more year, one more day. Even more. I mean, so this is all leading up to those Anthony Davis Kobe 5s. I'll call them that. They're calling it Lakers, but the same thing. All the headlines have been that they may hit stores next month. It's not confirmed yet by Nike, but word on the street is various retailers are going to release them on March 26th. And they're just the quintessential Kobe 5 in my book because it has that really nice, it's not wave like water, but it reminds me of wavy water, that like ripple material, the ripple effect, if you will, across the upper and on the toe box, that ballistic looking ankle area, the diamond-like material, that's super clean. Then you have this really pretty purple, gold, and kind of, purple, gold, and yellow sock liner that I can't tell what it says. There's no inside photos, but there's something going on in there. A nice icy outsole. It just has all of the elements I want in a Kobe 5 or in any kind of Kobe shoe. And I just really hope we're able to get them.
Yeah.
It can be limited. That's cool. But if these release, I think that it's gonna lay the foundation that we'll have more on the go forward.
Yeah, man. And I don't know what it is about them. Like, I love that the coloring. Like, I had that similar playoff pack color, like with the OGs, but that yellow lining around everything, that detail, almost makes it look like it reminds me of like a superhero suit. And I don't know what it is about it, but it's just something that makes it just pop even more. And dude, every time I see him, I'm like, please release. Just even if you just give us this last one, just give me something.
But I mean, you're right. It does have a lot of feels of original Kobe 5s, but it's different, and that's
exactly.
Jordan Brand's tried. Well, they have done for 20 years now, having something new that's very, very familiar. But I had the Kobe 5 Lakers home, which is the exact same thing, but with white and silver.
Yeah.
And those, I remember buying them from the Nike outlet in 11.5 to make myself, because I wanted them. So I made myself squeeze my feet in them. And as I got older, I was like, bro, who are you fooling? Like, let them go. They don't fit. So I gave them to Goodwill because they were pretty fucked up. And now I wish I even still had them just to have them. But these kind of, we saw it a little bit with the Kobe 4 with that all black one with the yellow border on the swoosh and the yellow outsole, where it's new, but it's old. And I think that's going to be a formula for Kobe because he's Mr. Laker. Like, he's synonymous with that brand. You see purple and gold, you're probably thinking Kobe or Magic, like, instantly. So those, I like to think, will kind of go down like the Bulls colorway has. Like the Bulls with MJ's shoes, every sneaker, every iteration, it can be a new retro, it can be old. Like, there's always going to be a Bulls vibe or a Bulls inspiration to at least 20 different retros a year. And the Lakers brand, and, I don't want to say likabilities, there's a lot of Laker haters, but everybody knows what the purple and gold means. And I think those two will forever and should forever continue to be heavily in retros for forever. For a long time. Like, you've probably noticed this too. The past probably, 5 models, 6 models, there hasn't been a lot of Laker home colorways or even
which has been really weird.
They're pushing all these different storytelling and packs and, Chinese New Year and like Silk Road. And it's all these colorways I can think of, and they're memorable in their own rights, but they're not Laker vibes. And I think now that he's passed, those Laker vibes are going to do a heavy number to people's hearts in the nostalgia department.
Yes, sir. Like, they need I don't care if everyone releases purple, a variation of purple and gold and white and black. I don't care. Like, let's just mix it up. We can really, like you said, we can release Jordans in 20 different black and red colorways. We can do the same thing with the Kobe's, and it makes sense. So I'm here for it in any way they want to try it. But you have to pay homage to the fact he was with the Lakers for his entire career. And he said Mr. Laker.
Purple in Nike's arsenal shows up all the time. All of the classic Air Maxes have a purple. grape Jordan 5s are all that come to mind, and like reverse grapes for Jordans. Oh, I guess Jordan 1s. There's a couple purple ones, but just like with Nike, purple is one of their mainstay colors. I think of Volt, I think of Nike orange, Bulls colorways, and then like ultramarine and ultraviolet and court purple,
infrared. That's like the. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Those are like, if there was a palette of, maybe like 7 to 10 colors, that's it. That's the colors that are synonymous with Nike. And as I say, court purple, court yellow, court gold, whatever they want to call it. Like they got the dye in there. The ink's there. It's not going to hurt anybody.
What's crazy is I'm trying to think of what Adidas color is. And I think it's white.
Well, I think white and black are probably white and black, and I have to. Only reason I say aqua because the ZX 8000 is like one of their staples. But you're right. I'm sitting there.
Dan Smith, white. Superstar, white. I mean, obviously Ultra Boost, white and black, but it's just they're just so.
Dang, you're right.
Yeah, Adidas is all like white, and I think it really adds to why you see so many casual people. Like Adidas will always thrive because people are always just going to want white shoes with a little
easy shoe. Yeah,
and that kind of brings us to, I guess I would say, our main topic. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but we were thinking before we started recording, there's a couple different shoes you see all the time in various situations like this, your token shoes. And I think this is going to be pretty specific to where we live, Mike being in Houston and myself in Portland, because, you see what you see with your own eyes. So might be a little different, him being in such a big, populous, urban environment in Portland, kind of being the home of shoes, and just everybody wears sneakers. Like sneakers are everywhere. So keep that in mind as we go about this. And as you hear, maybe you'll think about leaving us a comment with what kind of shoes you see in your local area, or maybe you'll shoot us a DM. But we'd like to see you guys get involved after this episode and kind of what trends you notice in your local areas too.
Yeah, let us know, because I think I'm sitting here still listing out stuff. I'm like, man, I see some weird stuff out here.
Right? I guess we'll start with the weird. I think the weirdest thing I see, and it's good for the community. That's one of the things I love about Portland, is that you see underprivileged and homeless people with fresh Jordans regularly, and they don't have to be like cool retro Jordans. They could be like a 6 Rings or a Chris Paul. I see retro Jordans on homeless people at least twice a day. And it's so cool because the people donating them are probably working at, most of them work at Nike, and to them it's nothing. They can't profit off owning the shoe. They can't resell it. So donate. Yeah. They got coffee up the street. They do a donation every year. And I'm not that cool. I bring over running shoes, but I always look at what's in the pile, and I'm always like, oh shit, someone's like giving those away. And some homeless guy an hour later is just going to walk in. They're going to be his size, and that's going to be the prereq, and he's going to take them.
What I wish someone would tell that homeless person? Go resell it. Like, it sounds terrible, but tell that homeless person, go resell it, get him a pair of like $20 shoes and have some money in his pocket. Like, that was just something random that I was thinking when we were talking about that earlier.
It was wild because 2 mornings ago, this guy had a pretty brand new pair of Hyperdunks on, but I could obviously tell he was less fortunate. And he asked me if I had any money, and it's 2020. I only have my cards. So I'm like, no, man, I don't have any. And he's like, well, can you buy me a pack of smokes? And I was like, man, I didn't say this, nor would I ever say it. But it's like, you can just sell those shoes and go buy your own smokes. I was kind of fucked up, and I'm a bad person.
Oh man! But it's crazy because, like, I guess I didn't really think about it until just now, because when you said that, I don't see this often here, but I've seen a couple homeless people. I saw one guy wearing a pair of infrared 6s, homeless. Clearly, they were beat. but saw him wearing a pair of infrared 6s. Then I saw one guy wearing a pair. They could have been OGs, honestly, but he had some. They looked like they were clearly 2 sizes too big, but he needed something.
Yeah.
They were eggplant foams.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was just like, it's crazy because there's always a joke that sneakerheads make shoe contact before eye contact, and that's what happened. I was in my car and I just like looked down as the guy's walking. I'm like, huh. And I was like, I wonder, wonder where he found them, or who was nice enough to give them up if they weren't wearing it anymore, kind of deal.
Frank Cook, who has been a man of many brands, he donates crazy stuff. And at the end of the day, shoes are a utility. Shoes are fun to us. They're a commodity to us. But someone just needs a pair of shoes. Someone needs socks out there. So I feel bad for the joke I made. But in all seriousness, like, if you have stuff you can donate it. Because somebody out there has something so busted, their toes are popping out of it. Like, they'll be happy with the cruddiest pair of running shoes you have in your closet. Just, it does something for somebody. Now, what are some of the weird things, I guess, outside of foam posits on that guy? Like, what are some of the weird things you had on your radar?
Man, just one shoe that always trips me out, because it's like Jordan Brand ripped off their own shoe, but I see it everywhere on people because, again, it's one of those things. It's utility, but at the same time, as someone who wants to be cool, they can find a shoe for between probably $80 and $40, and it's a Jordan True Flight, and it looks freakishly like the Jordan 7 with some little tweaks to it, but it's just one of the shoes I see all the time.
You're so right. The second you said that, I'm like, what shoes are you talking about again? Oh yeah, the 7 look-alike. Mm-hmm. That's so funny because it is, and we've covered this in other episodes. Like, somebody's going to walk in and just want a damn pair of Jordans, and they have a slight, recollection of what a Jordan looked like when they were in high school or when they were younger, and it gives off that 7 vibe. So it reels in, and that's cool though. Like, there's something for everybody, but that's a great observation, as I noticed that too.
So what you got? What's one of the ones that you see in the streets on a daily?
Yeah, so the biggest one, I guess. So I didn't know this wasn't a Target brand until I did some research. But On Footwear, On Footwear. It looks like little O's as like the outsole, midsole. I see those because Portland's a huge cycling town. People ride their bikes. There's bike lanes everywhere. And I see those On shoes everywhere. And I'm like, man, those are the ugliest damn things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't like them. My mind might be changing in a little bit because shout out to On. They heard me hating on the brand a little bit, giving my thoughts about the brand. And they're actually sending me out a box of shoes. So we'll see if I like them a little bit better. But before I moved to Portland, I had never seen those. I didn't know they were – I literally thought they were like the Champion brand sneakers from Target.
They look, the brand, like the little circles on it, looks like that same little logo from like a distance.
It does. I thought, or Champion's getting really aggressive. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna try your same tactic though. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna try a Jordan Brand. Hey, I sure do hate those UNC 3s. You should change my mind by sending me a pair.
All right. I'm a big NC State fan, and I can't get behind those. I need you to help. Me.
Guide me here, Jordan Brand. Help me.
Yeah. And a funny thing about On, they're dropping their first lifestyle shoe that doesn't look like the Champion logo in the next couple weeks. So maybe they could be onto something and they could start competing. Who knows? But that's just one brand I had never seen before, and now I see easily 5 times a day when somebody pedals by me. It's like, oh, On shoes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you see any other brands out in Houston other than like, let's just say Reebok, Adidas?
Yeah.
Out of like the main shoes.
Yeah. I actually see a good amount of was it Hoka?
Hoka, yeah, the big ass midsoles, like huge.
Yeah, I see a lot of them because there's certain areas where like there's a really nice part of town, actually where my wife's office is. So every time I go down there, like to visit her or whatnot, I see a lot of like I don't want to call them, not necessarily older, but they're definitely like adult crowd. And if they're like jogging, walking on the streets, they have Hokas on. There's a running store near her office, and they have a big poster in the window with vinyl advertising Hokas along with like Under Armour. But the Hoka is definitely a bigger press on their marketing for that particular store. But they're actually a decently cool looking shoe. I saw them so much, and then heard about them, of course, with the whole. They're part of that. Anti, shoe doping, basically, where they're saying that the technology is helping marathon runners. So they're part of that whole deal with their technology as well. And there's actually a pair I saw not too long ago, I think is newly releasing. And I'm seriously kind of thinking about it. They're actually really cool. I have to send it to you later, Robbie, but it's a decent looking shoe, decent looking runner, and it's pretty aggressive looking too, but it looks like you can wear it every day. So it's one of the ones that's different, but it's one of the ones that's kind of changed my mind. But, oh, wait, no, got to do it your way. Hoka, I don't like them. Send me some.
Right? Let them know what's up.
I really do like them, though.
We'll just edit that part out. We'll re-W with somebody else. I don't like these. That's so great you brought that up, because that is a shoe. I forget it's even a brand until I see it. And the shape, obviously there's different models, but just the overall shape is so recognizable that I instantly think, oh, it's those big puffy shoes. Like Missy Elliott in 96, puff. But those, there's a couple Mizunos that have that same kind of, and they're designed for running and obviously running shoes, but just like overly super padded, comfortable shoes. Like Nike Air is great, but I have a feeling if you were to put the two on, it would literally feel like walking on air versus being told there's encapsulated air in there. Oh
yeah. Yeah, something like you can look at these soles, they're chunky, but man, they look super soft.
Yeah, if I had to go back and work retail and I had to stand in a Foot Locker all day, I would definitely entertain wearing a pair of those for my work shoes.
All day. I see they're getting more shelf space in places, so hopefully they become a thing. I mean, I'm open to trying new brands. I mean, I know it's hard to tear me away from what I know, and I always say I like to try different stuff. Even if you look at my collection, it's mostly Nikes, but I still dabble in other things. It's just it has to be the right thing before I take the leap and give out the money for it.
Correct. It has to pass the eye test, right? You have to visually say, "Oh, I like that. Like I could see myself trying that."
Yeah,
and I think
that's the right statement. Yeah,
those brands, the Hokas, the Ons, the Mizuno. Mizuno's been around a long time, but they are, and even Keen too. They're starting to hit a design ethos that is opening up their product to new consumers, and that's really cool. The gym. So like you brought up the running store. That automatically brought my brain to the gym, and one shoe that I think has like a vice grip over the gym training sector is the Nike Metcon. I think there's now 6 of them or 7 different versions of them.
You're a good amount. There was a Flyknit version that was super dope.
That shoe, man, I see it at the gym. I want to say 40% of people are wearing that shoe in some version. And for that to be from one brand and one model is crazy. I mean, you brought up the Flyknit version. There's been so many different versions of that shoe. And I remember trying on, I think the 1 through 4. I think I tried on every one up into the 4. And it's my flat pancake feet are not like I don't like wearing them, so I don't. But I know that my feet are abnormal compared to a lot of other people. And those other people, man, eat that damn shoe up.
Oh yeah, dude. Because it's the CrossFit shoe. You know, CrossFit's still a huge craze. And I remember at one point the CrossFit Games actually banned the Metcon. It was one of those things they were saying. I think it had an unfair advantage. Something I don't know what it was. But they made a banned colorway to go with it, and they did the same campaign. It was brilliant, dude.
That's all smoke and mirrors because CrossFit was owned, maybe it's still owned by Reebok or sponsored by Reebok.
100% is. 100% is.
They didn't want people wearing anything else other than Reebok there.
Hey, man. I mean, Reebok has cornered niche sports that grew out of control. CrossFit and UFC. They have, they took that market when no one was really paying attention, and as it grew and grew, they just put a vice grip on it and said, no one else is getting it. And you got to appreciate it. They picked their spots and came out on top with these smaller niche sports.
That's so true. I automatically think Reebok when I think UFC, and when I think of CrossFit, I think of JJ Watt too. This training.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the fellows at Wear Testers can attest to this. Reebok does a lot of great stuff, a lot of good stuff. When it comes to those, specific workout segments of footwear. And they just, I see them in magazines, even print stuff. There's always going to be people who don't give a shit about Nike, don't like Adidas, and will just gravitate towards Reebok. And they've really positioned themselves to be I want to say the authority when it comes to those type of training.
Yeah.
Training activities.
Yeah, they take chances. They do different things. With all the flack that they got from the original Zig Tech, the fact that they brought it back, sat in a room and retooled it to look something freaking dope, that's night and day. You look at the old Zig Tech, look like Play-Doh on the bottom of a shoe. Look at the new Kineticas. You had the prototype ones that came out, which are super dope, almost high fashion looking, off-white style. Then you have the Conor McGregors, the BBCs, and you have this Japanese brand that's doing a collaboration as well. And they're making them kind of limited, certain ones. They have their GRs, but you have BBCs only released at, BBC Ice Cream, Reebok, and then Champs. And that's it. But they've really, I don't know who someone else took charge, or I don't know what it is. They really just kind of got it together where they're not trying to fight the big battle. They're fighting they're not fighting a war, but they're fighting and winning these little battles to keep themselves relevant.
They were really pushing that Conor McGregor stuff because I see ads on my YouTube all the time for Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm. It's bro, I don't buy Reebok. I like shoes, algorithm, but you don't know it that well. Your comments on the original Zig Techs, spot on. I will never forget in rural Minnesota, my roommate sophomore year walked in with a pair. He had 2 shoes. He got a deal where he got 2 pairs. One of them was the Zig Tech John Wall, and the other one was just the Zig Tech Trainer. And I might have been drunk, but I threw up when I saw them.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Man, those you couldn't. I would rather walk barefoot through hot glass than wear those 2 shoes.
Well, they look like kid shoes. If you really sit and look at I was watching something where they're comparing it to the old. To say the new to the old, and when they showed the old one, I actually remember my little brothers having them, and they were in elementary school. I was oh, that makes sense. But I remember in high school and college seeing grown men wearing them, this doesn't make sense.
Did you say Nickelodeon earlier?
No. I don't think I did. No.
Might be the kids analogy is very good because I think Nickelodeon slime on the bottom of a shoe.
Dude, that's also a good way to put it. Yeah.
Slimy Mark Summers. But do you see anything at the gym regularly? I mean, or like workout shoe wise, or
there's really a mixture. I see some, workout shoes. I see the typical workout shoes. I see, the Nikes, the Metcons. I see a lot of Ultra Boosts, which is weird because when I work out my Ultra Boost, I feel like I'm going to roll off the top of the boost. So it's really not a good workout shoe. I see a lot of those Adidas weightlifting shoes that don't get any advertisement, but if you go to their website, they have those really wide plastic bases. But then I see people in there who I think are just working out for like social media with like someone wearing like retro Jordans. I'm like, yeah, that's not the shoe to work out in. Or, a girl wearing like Superstars or Air Force Ones. So you got the guys wearing retro Jordans. You got girls wearing Air Force Ones that are Superstars. I'm like, yeah, you either A, you don't know how to work out, or B, you're here for a completely wrong reason.
If I'm on vacation, I'll work out in retro Jordans. So I only brought 2 pairs. Like, hey, why not work out in these? But that Ultra Boost, I think the same thing. Whenever I do anything other than running in a straight line, I feel like I'm going to trip over my own feet.
Yeah, I was like, these aren't meant for side-to-side motions, but that's my fault. No one ever told me to do it. I just assumed it would be okay.
But that's why those Adidas weightlifting shoes, I mean, they're weightlifting shoes. They're made to stand there and lift heavy things. But, like, those are everywhere. Like, that's a really good point that they never market them unless you go looking for them. But from what you just said and the Metcon, Nike in the training department, I don't think, hey, I'm going to go buy a not Metcon from Nike just to work out in. Like, their training shoes legitimately look, I mean, they look good enough to like, okay, I'm going to wear this to the gym and then hit some errands after.
Yeah.
Like,
I can look cool in the streets while still getting my workout in.
I think free trainers, I think finger trap trainers, I think other trainers, I don't know. But it's just like those Nikes are more of like an all day thing and I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
But the Metcons like, yo, I got hella big muscles. I wear these Metcons.
Get at me, bro. This is
what I do. The Air Force One still, I think, is the ultimate ruler of Portland when it comes to casual footwear. Because moms, dads, babies. I bought my friend who had a baby a pair of Air Force Ones, like beat up, black, white, sparkling clean. Like there's every version of Air Force One in these streets.
Or what the kids refer to it as cooked.
Cooked out Air Force Ones. But the thing about the Air Force One is it's just so timeless that it can be like an old pair of linens. It can be a new Colin Kaepernick. It can be anything. Like you can't, unless you know Air Force Ones, like no one casually is just going to know that your Rockefeller Air Force Ones are any different than their cooked white Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
That's just like maybe the coolest part about Air Forces is that they can be $30,000 or they can be $3.
They look the same.
Super easy. And it's like, it's the shoe for everybody. It's great that it's having a resurgence. It's continuing to enjoy its resurgence.
Yeah.
So like that truly is the shoe of the people in Portland.
Dude, I have such a love-hate relationship with the Air Force One. I love the way it looks. I actually used to have tons of Air Force Ones. But when they get beat, I just hate that they flip up. The toes start going up. They start looking like a banana. I'm like, what's going on? And I refuse to put the little plastic pieces in there because they don't feel nice on your feet to stop them from like bending.
Honest reviews. Force Field, you guys are great people. We love working with you. I can't wear them in my shoes either. Like I bought a pair of Force Fields to put, I don't know what shoes I got them to put in, but I returned them. I put them in the shoe. I took 5 steps and I was like, nope. I'm like, And again, it's probably my really shitty feet. It's not the brand, but like, you're so right. Air Force Ones, once it starts getting erect in the front, it's time to let them go. Like I said earlier, the John Elliott all whites are the first pair of white Air Forces I've ever owned, because I'm in that same boat as you. The second I see it get a crease or a scratch or something happen to where you can't clean it, you just gotta throw that whole baby away.
Yeah, dude. And like I have a pair of white Air Force Ones that it's like just a special pair I have for me and my son. And I wore it because I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna wear these. And they started creasing. I'm like, oh, put them on ice, put them away.
5 years later, they're still the same way they were 5 years ago. No,
they won't change.
I mean, I have to put an asterisk up because I have 3 pairs of the Flyknit Air Force Ones, just because those are the lightest, most comfortable walking around shoes.
And they don't crease.
So freaking nice. And that's just why other people wear Air Forces so much, because they can be so nice because they're just simple one color and they're comfortable, or they can be so nice because it's crazy Flyknit and it's comfortable. I mean, it works. Kobe Bryant put up fucking like 70 points in Rucker wearing a pair of Air Force One mids. Like,
man, that just adds on to his legacy, because I can't even jump in Air Force Ones. They're too heavy.
But I will, and if you haven't seen this footage, do yourself the favor and go YouTube Kobe at Rucker Park. But Kobe pulls up, gets changed out, and keeps the forces on. And it's just, well, like, do you have an equivalent to the Air Force One in Houston? Like, do you see one shoe on this?
This is the one, Air Force Ones, just like in Portland. I mean, white on whites. I mean, you see those troublemakers wearing all black ones, which I see. You know what is weird, because so you have 2 different people, Air Force One people. That is, you have the younger crowd who are like, oh, cool, Air Force Ones are hot. There's all white on white joints. Cool. They get the white on white lows. But then you got the old head, and I mean this in the most respectful way, but they appreciate all colors and cuts of Air Force Ones. I see guys who've been in the game longer than I've been alive wearing Miami-style jorts with Air Force One lows to match whatever attire they're wearing. I see those same guys with those same jorts on wearing Air Force One mids. Again, matching the outfit with the matching hat is just pick your poison of Air Force Ones out here.
The young kids specifically, when you cook the Air Force One correctly, and it's not quite rare and it's not well done, it's a nice medium rare cooking, they look good. Like, if it's the right amount of busted, it's the same reason why like high-end designers like sell shoes with like glue all over them or duct tape. You know what I'm talking about? Like the really crazy.
Yeah, I call that trash, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
There's one pair, I want to say it's Balenciaga. I might be wrong. Maybe it's CDG, but like fucking, it looks like sexual reproductive.
It's Ralph Simmons, I think.
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, so why?
Who glazed this shoe?
Only person wearing that, you know what? And this is more of a compliment. Only person wearing this is Trinidad James. He can literally wear anything, and it's like, I got you.
I was gonna say Aesop Rocky. I think he could wear them too.
Okay, I give you that too.
You have to have, and 2 Chainz. You have to have an ungodly level of confidence and swag.
Uber swag. Like, I don't think I could ever accomplish that level of swag, because I'm just too self-conscious to wear something that goofy.
All 3 of those gentlemen are aggressive with the fashion, and that's their brand. So something like that could work, but to us simpletons, that's a 0% chance of getting -0.
I mean, someone's gonna think I need new shoes if I start wearing those around. Like, hey, everything okay? Do you need help? Like, that's what's gonna happen if I wear that.
All right. Okay. So the last kind of question, then we'll wrap up the episode here. What's one pair of shoes you don't want to see in the streets anymore? You want them to be excommunicado.
The shoe I want to kick rocks, I think, is the Adidas Swift Run. And I don't know, it just irks me so much because, again, I know shoes are utility to people, and this is not knocking those people, but it looks just like a generic version of the NMD. I'm like, just the NMD probably costs less than a Swift Run now. Just go buy a pair of NMDs. They're way nicer. The Swift Run looks like absolute garbage because it has this like mesh-ish upper with this weird, very solid outsole that has slits in it that gives you illusion that they're supposed to like move with you, but they don't. And they're always like at academies, Dick's Sporting Goods, like Shoe Carnival, DSW. But if you literally just take a step into the mall, you go to any store, there's an NMD for $40, $50. Just go buy it. You'll be happier with yourself at the end of this.
I had to go and Google it, and you are so right. Like that is the NMD's ugly brother that gets no game, and he has to show up. Like, oh yeah, I'm my brother. You got any friends? Like,
oh yeah, that's a great way to put that. He's the one that wears like the puffy shirt to prom, and while you have a nice slick black suit on.
Yeah, he's just killing the vibe. That's the vibe killer. So mine's kind of a cheat answer, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves on earth. I would say including shoes and not shoes. When people walk in, and I see grown-ass men do this, and little boys, it's mostly boys. Sometimes it's little girls too. But people wearing soccer cleats or any kind of cleat outside the field. I don't care if you're going to Papa John's after the soccer game and little Billy is going to walk in the store with you. You hear clink, 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 clink. And normally it's a little kid, so it's clink, 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 clink. They're running around. And it's like, bro, you bought that child those shoes. You're killing the teeth on the cleats. Like you're messing up your own investment. Like it's the worst sound on earth. It is. Oh, and like biking shoes too, like the clip-in bike shoes.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I see those all the time too. Is people walk into the office and they just got off their bike and you're clink, 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 but they went so make the same walk. You have to go around the building from the bike rack. They walked like 2 minutes making that damn sound.
Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I can hear everything you're doing. Stop.
Go buy a pair of $7 Adidas slides. They're always on sale. Like. Go something.
I don't understand it because I've walked on a concrete with my soccer cleats and immediately just felt like, ugh, this isn't right. Like I don't know how people do it. It
grinds my gears so bad. I almost want to go like, here's my parenting coaching moment for you, sir.
Stop it.
Buy your kid a pair of shoes that aren't the cleats.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know what? I didn't even think to go that route, but I have my honorable mention of things I would like people to stop wearing. You know what? If this offends you, just oh well. Stop getting fully dressed up and thinking putting slides on with socks is the way to complete the outfit. That is such a thing where people use fake Gucci slides. Even with real ones, do you know what they're meant for? The house and the pool. Stop it. And people with furry ones, stop it twice.
Man, I didn't think of that one either. And you are unabashedly true. Like it's funny because I know exactly what you're talking about. You got jeans on, you got your nice hoodie on. I mean, or maybe it's a shirt, but you got freaking socks and slides on. It's like, if you're going to go hoop or you're going to the field to put your cleats on, cool.
Yeah, but not to like the mall, to the movies, to the anywhere besides those aforementioned places.
There's a donut shop across the street, like literally across the street from my house. And I'll walk over there with socks and slides on. But that's just because I'm going right back to my cave to pound. Like,
it's like in and out. It's meant if you're a quick in and out trip. It's not, hey, I'm going stunting these slides. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry that you paid $200 for them. That sounds like a personal problem. Leave them at home.
I'm out of the house for 6 minutes. I think I can make that work. But what do you think about the Adidas slide then, like the Yeezy slide?
That looks like it's meant for some kind of hospital. They look like, dude, straight up, looks like an asylum slide. I'm like, bro, crazy people wear those with like straight jackets.
Did you escape or something? Like, what's going on?
We need to talk about it. Same with the little foam runner. Those belong in places like, those look like jail shoes. They both actually look like jail shoes.
That's. I think we're going to end the episode on hate for the first time in long history. But it's fun. I'm really not going to go tell your kid to go take his cleats off, and Mike's not going to go hunt you down for wearing slides. But maybe entertain our advice.
Just a little bit.
But man, with that said, please, if you're still listening, jump onto the Patreon page. You can get to it for the Sneaker History website. Leave us a review. Tell your mother to listen to us so she can understand what you talk about at the dinner table. Whatever you got to do. But to spread the word, we really appreciate it. Make sure you're following at Sneaker History on all major platforms. I'm Robbie, and you can find me at RAHBEE702. Mr. Mike G, where can they find you?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Sneaker History, of course. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789. Find me on YouTube at Mike Guillory. And guys, I kind of want to try something new. I don't think we've ever done this before. This weekend, whatever you guys pick up, or you have any, pick up win stories or loss stories, tweet the Sneaker History account. Let us know your stories. We want to get to know our audience a bit more and hear some funny stories from you guys or some, successful stories. So hit us up and we can, share the best ones we get.
We're all going to complain about it anyway, so might as well complain about it to us.
Yeah, let's make it fun.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you listening, and everybody have a good day.
See ya.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, I wanted to ask a couple favors of you. If you're interested in more content from the Sneaker History crew, become a member of our Patreon page where we post daily content, drop exclusive episodes, and host monthly giveaways. We'll even help you hunt for your grails. Check us out at patreon.com/sneakerhistory. Also, make sure you sign up for our email newsletter at sneakerhistory.com/email. We send out weekly updates on the footwear business and what we're working on here at Sneaker History. Last but not least, take a second to tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how much it means to someone, and it might even plant the seeds for something even bigger. As always, we appreciate you, and we'll catch you next time. Peace. Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.